For this episode of Ecto Encounters, I traveled to Bavaria to help a family that had a problem with a possible spirit attachment. To get a better understanding, I sat the two sisters down and asked a few questions. Now, the little sister, Samira, is currently the only one being affected. She only speaks German, so the older sister, Brittney, had to translate for her. This is her story. When did this all start? Would be a good, place to begin with.
Since first grade.
Okay, was it in this house or was it a different house?
It was in the house before.
Basically, it followed from that house to this one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. My question is, did the energy just come out of nowhere? Or was when you moved into that old house, is that when it happened? Or just when you were at the house, it just randomly started?
It started with just like spots and shadows in the first house, but then the shadows started to morph and like shape into an actual 3D person-like shadow.
Oscar, can you describe to me like what you've witnessed? Like, is it knocks, bangs, stuff moving? You've seen full body figures? Has it tried talking to you?
She heard voices even though like people were not, like the voice from her mom or like another relative, even though there was no sign that the person, like, they were sleeping, but she would still hear them yell or like screaming or yelling after her, like her name. Otherwise she didn't really hear like banging or anything.
So you told me you've had nightmares before?
I just do appointment before. Yes.
Can you describe them?
So beginning first class and like elementary class, the nightmares would start not as intense, but still like very surreal, like where she would see kids hanging on their head or on their feet down on like a bar across from each other with axes and knives and like killing each other. You would have piles of like dead bodies underneath. And now the dreams, like now the nightmares have developed so much that she now in her dream is actually killing person by person, her own family, like taking off the skin and like cutting them into pieces and all that.
So I started off by putting a night vision camera in Samira's room, and we left it there for running about 15 minutes straight. And upon reviewing the footage later, there's a few events on there that seemed a little bit out of the ordinary. Now, a weird thing about that last one was I didn't add any sound effect to that. That came from the original camera's audio. That whooshing sound, yeah, that came from whatever that was. Okay, so I just want to say that I do believe a few of these clips do contain dust of some sort, but there are a few that have very irregular movements to them. Now, noted that this is an old German house and it does not have any air vents or air conditioning or anything like that. And it is December, so the window is shut. There is no air current coming in or out of this room. I invited Brittney along to try to set up a communication session with using one digital recorder and two EMF detectors, both placed on each side of the room. Sadly, there was nothing caught on the EMF, but we did catch a few whispers on the camera's audio and the digital recorder. Sometime later, a few anomalies at different times seemed to shoot toward or around Brittney. Later, this will have some significance. If there is a presence that has been showing yourself to Samira, now's your chance to communicate. I've come all this way with all this equipment that you can use to show us that you're here and why you're here. We don't mean disrespect unless you give us a reason to. So if you just want to talk, now's your time. You're here to listen. Can you try touching one of these devices with the green lights, please? Because they'll change colors if you get near them. Can you at least try knocking one over? You feel anything?
What is it? Like,
Can you ask that in German, please?
in German, yours? What you said?
Yeah.
Okay. You said?
Yeah.
Okay. You said?
Yeah.
Okay. Wenn hier eine Präsenz da ist, die Samira hier bis hierher ins Zimmer gefolgt ist und du Kontakt suchen möchtest mit ihr. Jetzt ist die Zeit, mit ihr, mit uns den Kontakt aufzunehmen. Wir versuchen definitiv kein Schaden oder Unruhe zu stiften, sondern einfach nur rauszufinden, was du möchtest und wie wir dir helfen können. Wir haben an beiden Seiten die Geräte auch mit dem grünen Licht. Wenn du an eines dieser Geräte kommst, dann können wir auch mit dir kommunizieren. Möchtest du an eines der Geräte gehen und mit uns kommunizieren? Oder uns zeigen, dass du da bist?
There's also a device laying on the table. That you can see that has a red dot. This device can pick up your voice that we cannot hear. It's a sound sensitive device. Oh, she's moving back and sitting. That if you talk into it, it'll pick it up and we can hear your voice. So this is your chance to communicate. Sierra, right? Mm-hmm. Do you want something to say to Sierra? So not only is this audio that we just caught was picked up on my camera, Sierra, right? Mm-hmm. And this audio was also captured on the digital recorder. Sierra, right? And here's the thing. To me, this sounds like this entity or spirit was correcting me in pronouncing the little sister's name, which is Samira, and I responded as Sierra. And you can hear the spirit intelligently respond Samira as I mispronounced her name. Another thing to add is these two anomalies at the corner of the screen that seem to shoot outward. Then again, it could be just dust and coincidental, but the timing of the noise and these things showing up at the same time seem to be something worth pointing out. Because she's going to review this stuff. We know you have a connection with her. Sometime later, we figured we'd bust out the spirit box, so I left Brittney in the room by herself just for a few minutes.
So, jetzt sind's nur wir zwei.
And as soon as I left that room, the first question she asked, we get a response. For what I believe is some response. I don't know if it's breathing or if it actually is an intelligent response to her question. I'll leave that up to you guys. But to me, it sounds like some kind of breathing is what I can assume.
So, jetzt sind's nur wir zwei.
bedroom door? Anything? No? Ooh, it smells different here. It smells like sawdust. 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 Okay, well, I'm gonna stop rolling on the digital recorder. Alright, so this is the SP7 Spirit Box. Basically, this is gonna swoop through multiple radio stations like really quick. And it's gonna make a white noise. It may pick up a few radio stations, like you'll get a little snippet or something. But once you hear a voice and it goes over like a lot of sweeps, that's how you know. Spirits can use this to talk through so like really easy for what I'm told. I don't know. But alright. Is there anybody in this room with us? You can use this to talk to, and we will hear you.
Is there niemand im Raum?
Okay, now this is interesting to me. For what seems to be, at first, just a piece of dust, comes out of the ceiling, has erratic movements going back and forth, and moves toward the camera. Personally, this could just be dust, since I did move around the room, and it might have caused some kind of disturbance within the air. But, and this is a big but, if I did disturb the airflow, this would normally move in one general direction, and not be moving back and forth after the fact that I was standing still. So this is entirely up to you guys.
Warum hast du die ganze Mira festgehalten und bist dir bis hierher gefolgt? Gibt es dafür einen Grund, warum du sie ausgewählt hast?
Did that say something? What did it say? Was that you?
Warst du das, der mit mir reden wollte? Ja oder nein?
I think it's radio station. Do you not like me being here?
Liegt es daran, dass ein Mann hier im Haus ist, in diesem Zimmer, und du deshalb nicht reden möchtest?
Are you hiding? In the attic? You hear mid-deer?
Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it say mid-deer? What is mid-deer? It just said it again.
Mit mir oder mit Samira? Du sagst immer wieder mit dir. Mit wem? Ich weiß, dass du reden kannst. Miss with you. Mit dir. Mit wem?
Are you here with us? You notice that it was the same voice all 3 times? Is this you we're talking to? Same voice. Are you trying to figure this thing out?
Da musst du was sagen. Heißt es ja? Heißt es nein?
That was clear.
Ja.
So you do want to talk. You just don't talk English?
Heißt es, dass du einfach Wir wollen keinen Disrespekt zeigen. Wir möchten nur mit dir reden, außer du gibst uns einen Grund.
If you want me to leave, just say my name and I'll leave. I'll leave this room right now.
Möchtest du, dass ich gehe und er da bleibt?
Are you scratching my leg? I started to feel like I started peeing my baby. What's it saying?
It said, komm. Komm.
Come here?
Möchtest du, dass er geht? Der Mann, der hier auf diesem Bett gerade sitzt?
I heard that.
Ja.
Alright, I'm leaving. I agreed to leave the room to see what would happen if Brittney being left alone would draw out the entity.
Möchtest du, dass wir...
And I'll bring up a walkie-talkie if you want.
Okay. Möchtest du, dass wir... So, jetzt sind es nur wir zwei. Wie lautet dein Name? Hallo? Hey, wie lautet dein Name? Ich wollte dir nur Bescheid geben, dass... Du brauchst keine Angst haben. Ja? Wie lautet dein Name? Woher kommst du eigentlich? Redest du nur im Schatten? Ist das der Grund? Möchtest du, dass ich das Licht ausmache? Kannst du es nochmal auf Deutsch sagen? Möchtest du, dass ich das Licht ausmache? Ich weiß, dass du im Schatten dich wohlfühlst. Von daher, wenn du dich unwohl fühlst und dich nicht traust, dich zu zeigen, zu reden, mache ich auch das Licht aus. Aber dazu musst du Ja sagen. Okay, ich mache das Licht aus.
As I checked in on Brittney, she told me that the entity did not like the light and wanted it off. I agreed and took it with me and left her alone once again.
Ich bin jetzt im Dunkeln, wo ich mich nicht wohlfühle. Warum hast du dich an sie festgehalten und bist sie gefolgt? Kannst du was sagen? Hi. Wie heißt du? Ich habe das Licht ausgemacht. Kannst du dich zeigen? Kannst du dich bemerkbar machen? Mit wem möchtest du den Kontakt? Dass Samira hochkommt? Möchtest du, dass Samira hier ist in diesem Zimmer? Ja.
After 25 minutes has passed, we decided that it was time to bring up Samira and see if her presence would affect the energy in the room. I also brought up my new SLS camera to see if I can capture this tall figure that Samira has been seeing at night. So I see you guys in the bed. I'll be in the doorway.
Möchtest du, dass wir die Tür zumachen und alleine sind mit dir? Wie groß bist du eigentlich?
Ask him if he was by the TV, because as soon as I turned this on, there was a stick figure like standing right in front of the TV.
Warst du unten vor dem Fernseher?
I'm gonna start walking around the house, but I might stay here. I'll come back. Were you over there?
Amazingly, this figure just appears on the stair railing. Caught me by surprise. Seemed to spontaneously appear and then jumble up as I got too close to it. Could this be the dark figure that Samira was talking about? Or could it be the female spirit that we caught earlier on the spirit box?
Wie lautet dein Name?
Hopefully it'll come to light in part 2. As always, thanks for watching.